Good morning. Day 19. Creeping right along in the season, aren't we? Wow. Yesterday was pretty uneventful. Spent most of the day just traipsing around that drainage trying to find the elk with no luck. So this morning I've come up here to the ridge that's kind of adjacent to it to glass that unit, some of those openings, just to see if I can get some eyes on them. They were in. As I just shared with you, I was glassing the unit to see if any of those elk might be out. And if so, I was going to dive back down in there. If not, I had this fun plan of walking down an adjacent ridge that I hadn't been on for years, but it's actually the spot where I killed my first blacktail buck 45 years ago with my dad at my side. One of the greatest hunting memories I have. It had been down in there for years. It's old, no road anymore. But I was going to walk down it and just kind of see if the elk might have moved into that area. Plus just enjoy the nostalgia of it. Nobody ever is there, right? I mean, it's one of those ridges that people just don't even pay attention to anymore. Well, I drove back from glassing and pulled up, and there's a rig with like 6 people waiting to dive in. I was frustrated. Kind of blew my plans. I don't want to walk down into the area I was in last night. I put about 6 miles on my boots, traipsing around trying to find the elk, and they weren't anywhere to be found. No fresh sign or anything, so I just felt like that would be kind of a waste this morning. So anyways, I boogied it over here. I've hiked down into my blind ridge where my blind is, and just gonna check it out, see if the elk are dropping any fresh sign for me, or check out one of my cams that's not wireless just to see if anything's popped onto that. One of those mornings. So it's beautiful here though. I haven't been on this ridge since I set up the blind, so there's elk here. So let's see if we can get lucky. Maybe this is where God wants me to be. Made it. I did follow one set of fairly fresh elk tracks down into here, but no elk. I'm gonna check this cam, see what we got. Well, not much on this cam. Bear, a little bear, a couple deer, no elk, not even a buck. So before I hike out though, I was just thinking, the day I called in that bull and got a shot at him, I was debriefing afterwards, and I shared with everybody that was the first bull I'd ever drawn on. And the reality is that that's fake news. I forgot. My very first bow season, 22 years ago, on the last day of the season, found a herd with a nice 5-point in it, slipped down in on them, got right in the middle of them, blew on my little scary cow call back in the day, and that bull came running. So I knocked arrow, crouched down, full draw. He came to about 5 yards. But of course there was a big downed fur about 4 feet in diameter between me and him. And I could not see his vitals because I'm crouched down, waiting. We probably stared at each other. He froze. We stared at each other for probably 15 seconds or so, and I finally just decided I'm going to stand up slowly and try to see a shot. Of course, he spooked, ran down into the draw, but started bugling. I'm standing there thinking, what do I do now? As I'm thinking that, another bull starts coming up the ridge on the other side through some big, deep, thick ferns. And he was coming right to me, and I could see where he was going to pop into the open at about 35 yards. So when he got right to that spot, I drew back again. And as I drew back, I popped my arrow off the rest, and it slid against the bow, making this awful sound. And that bull froze, stared at me for about 30 seconds. I'm at full draw, shaking. And then he wheeled and took off down into the drainage. That was the morning that kind of hooked me, though. So yeah, I have actually drawn on a bull a couple of times, long time ago. So you can understand why this old guy forgot. Kind of getting the feel of crunch time a little bit for me. Day 19. I got all day tomorrow, hopefully, and find the elk again and start having some action. Until then, God bless you guys. Happy hunting. And we'll see you next time.